And we're live. Hey, everybody. It's Time Out with Michael and Tony.
Hey, everyone.
How is everybody doing? Thank you for all the listens. We're back. It's 2020. It's a new year, a new fresh look. Whew.
It's crazy. It's way crazy.
Everybody's got 2020 vision.
Don't just stop.
Is that just been the thing?
That's been the thing, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's the thing right now.
I'm a little nasally. You can tell I got a deeper voice. I could do some really cool things. Baby, I'm gonna butter your bread.
That's so weird, man.
I know. That is weird. Anyway, thanks for the listens. If you guys have noticed, we have a new studio.
Booshki.
Thank for everybody who has put their time and effort into here. Ben, Heather, and whoever else was in here putting this together. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Drama City Productions, thank you for your help and everything in between. We are Time Out with Michael and Tony, and we are running hot.
Yeah.
It's hot in here.
It did get stinking hot in here.
Yeah, it did. I cracked the window, but we'll see what's happened.
Holy cow.
So if you guys might have noticed, we have a new name. We have a new logo, Time Out with Michael and Tony.
Yeah.
We are working on the merch right now as we speak. We'll put up on the Facebook page and the YouTube page for you people that want to buy a hat, a shirt, a sweater. Man, what else was there? There was like a phone case.
What were those? The Timeout with Michael and Tony RFID chips. The Timeout with Michael and Tony tramp stamps. Temporary, of course.
What about the chairs? You had to sit in the timeout chair.
Oh man, we need a timeout chair.
I know.
We should do that for guests that come on that we ultimately find out that we don't like. We can just have them sit down there in the middle.
Go
to the timeout chair.
You're in timeout. So how was your New Year's?
New Year's was good. We had a bunch of people at my house and we stayed up late and all of our kids went delirious and then they passed out. But we ate a bunch of food and it was great. And yeah, man, I gained like 6 pounds between Christmas and New Year's.
Did you?
I did.
No, I went to Disneyland.
Yes, you did.
With the fam, and we had a blast. It was so awesome. It was good to get out, recharge the batteries, and I lost 2 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, and I ate all that Disneyland food.
Dang.
Now here's the thing. Like me and Carrie talked about this while we were in Disneyland.
Yeah.
And you know, today's topic, obviously, New Year's resolutions. We talked about like you would eat in the morning, and you know, have your breakfast, and the second you get into Disneyland, they pump so many smells into you, and you're just like instantly like, oh, popcorn, oh, churro, oh, turkey leg,
oh man,
oh, a Yule log, like it's amazing.
I just ate a salad and I want a churro so bad right now.
Oh yeah,
I want a churro.
So I'm sure everybody listening, let us know what your New Year's resolution is. We'll talk about it on the screen. We will also answer any questions if you have any questions on New Year's resolutions. Yeah. My New Year's resolution, and I kind of put this out last week, my New Year's resolution is Yodo.
Yodo?
Yeah.
Yodo. Why is this the first time I've ever heard that phrase?
Yeah. So your wife actually commented on it. There's your wife actually commented on it. So you see the YOLO out there?
Yes.
You only live once.
Oh, I see.
Oh, incorrect.
I see.
So I'm going to run this year with Yodo. You only die once, because you really do.
Yeah.
You die once, and that's it, and it's over. You live every single day. Yeah. And that's up to you. That's up to you to live every single day. And depending on how you want to live it, you want to live it to the fullest. Do you want to live it you don't care? I mean,
to the fullest.
it really is in your hands. The ball is in your court, so to speak. So I'm going to run 2020 with the credo, the motto, the whatever, the metaphor, Yodo. I should probably get it like coin phrased. It's probably
we should. We can put that on a coffee cup.
Yep, we can. Right under Time Out with Michael and Tony.
That's or next to it.
Or the tramp stamp.
Or the tramp stamp.
Temporarily, of course.
Of course. That's the only kind. That's the only kind that counts.
So that I have high blood pressure, so I need to take charge of my weight. I mean, I think that's almost 95% of everybody's is lose weight, take care. But I really do need to take care of a little bit, and I have been working towards that. You gave me a great calisthenics program with Body Weight Fitness, and it is opened up a few doors for me to be able to do some different things, strengthen my core, strengthen my back, which is a big thing that always hurts me when I go do my workouts.
Yeah. Same.
So big, huge shout out to you for showing me that, and it's been good.
Awesome.
So now moving forward, we're going to do some other things. So I'm totally excited about that.
Awesome.
Resolutions for you?
Yeah, man, I've got some resolutions. I want to be more conscious, primarily of the amount of time that I spend with my family.
Yeah.
Right. My wife, one-on-one time with my wife, hanging out with my kids and stuff. I tend to be a workhorse. I tend to be like super busy, and so, going into this year, I want to make a conscious effort, to do that. And then also I've been making a conscious effort to, when I get home from work, to stay off my phone.
Yeah.
Because at the tail end of this last year, my wife started making comments. She's like, every time you come home, you just kind of retreat or escape into your phone. Like you need some, she's like, I understand you need a break, some rest and all these things, but you got kids here, you got me here, you got da, 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 da. And so I've been staying off my phone, for the most part, and
Right.
Definitely not on like it was. And also, like I said, spending more quality time with my army of children and my wife.
Good.
So, yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. And I think that's a huge thing. Most people that go to the workplace, me in general, I work with a bunch of people that have bad thoughts and sailors' mouths, and it's just the vending world. And I have always told Carrie, I need like 30 minutes to decompress.
Sure.
And get out of that language, that talk, that mentality, and come into the family mentality and all that. And I mean, I was always to the phone, and then it turned, and it wasn't 30 minutes. It was like 3 hours,
Sure,
and 4 hours. A big thing was to get off social media for me, and just all I really had was ESPN and Yahoo, and I'd read the news and look at some sports stuff, and then I had to go do more things with the fam, which was great, which was perfect for me. I mean, that was good for me. So I like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I texted my wife because my audio changed, and so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's up. So I texted my wife and just said, hey, log on to the thing to see if you can hear me.
We can hear everybody. Good.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're on the stream, leave a comment. We're talking about New Year's resolutions. What are your New Year's resolutions? Let us know you're here, and we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving in with New Year's resolutions, most common. What's the most common one that is out there?
Most common, I mean, hands down, is usually you hear people talk about diets and gym.
Right. Exercise more.
Yeah.
I think that's I can't hear the lady next to you, Michael.
Really? You can't hear my voice?
Really?
I hope you're not playing right now. But anyways, yeah. So exercise and diet are usually the primary two that people go for. So.
Yeah, and that is huge. Exercise more, lose weight. That kind of falls under maybe the same category. Get organized.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a little bit more organized through the year, obviously. And I mean, I don't think there's anything bad with that. I need to be more organized. At least I think so.
Yeah. Why do you think it is that the beginning of the year makes people want to jumpstart like a new life? You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't they do that like in June or July? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that's something that so we listen to a podcast, Dave and Rachel Hollis, and they do a 90-day start, and they start it back in October. So you do October, November, December, and then you're ready to go for the new year. I don't know. We can hear you both good, but the girl next to you, we can't hear anything. They're messing with you now.
Yeah, they are.
Ain't nobody getting nothing tonight.
Yeah.
But I mean, great question. I mean, what people that are on here watching, people that are on, watching things and listening to this, why do you think it takes you for, that, and that's always like a Monday,
Yeah.
let's start on Monday.
Right.
Why not start Saturday?
Right.
Because we were so I talked about my New Year's resolution, losing weight, obviously doing a keto thing. It's worked for me before, going to work for me again. I have a keto reboot system.
Yeah.
And thank you, Samantha. I got to remember Kettner. I hope I got that correctly. She's got a thing called Prove It. And if you guys would like to check that out, you can get a hold of her Facebook wise, and she'll help you out there. We talked about, well, let's start this on Monday, and me and Kara like, no, let's just start it. We started it yesterday.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, so we've learned that process. It wasn't the January 1. We know our limitations, and I think we were pretty good in Disneyland. I mean, I didn't go crazy except for I bought this one little thing, and it was like $60, and you get to try all these foods, and I had like 5 left, and it was the last day, and we only had a few hours, so I was like 5 things right in a row.
Yeah.
So I was pretty full.
Sure.
But yeah. A good question. I think that's the best question. Why does everybody start the new year, the new life, the new you on the new year? Maybe because it's the new year.
Yeah. I've always wondered that. Like, why does everyone get kind of this kick out of like the feeling of a new beginning? Right. Because I mean, like for me, now I fell into this too. I mean, I'm not saying this, I'm not asking this question because I haven't fallen victim to this too in the past. I've fallen victim to this in the past, but here, a year and a half ago, when I really started taking my, fitness and stuff like that seriously, I mean, it was like spring for me. You know what I mean? Like it was like, kind of going into summer, kind of thing. And I was like, I mean, I had a health scare and I had all these different things going on and everything, and so that kind of put a little bit of fire in my pants to like get moving. And everything. But to your point, how you were saying, why does everybody wait till Monday? One thing I kept running into was I kept putting off because it would be like a Friday. And I'm like, well, I got a calendar map here and it says to start on Monday. So I got to wait. And then something always would come up on Monday. You know what I mean? And it was just kind of like I lived in this constant realm of making excuses.
Yeah.
Right. And so I like what you were saying before about, kind of being intentional going into this year. Yeah. Right. You know what I mean? So make this year a year of no excuses.
No excuses.
Yeah.
There you go. Right there. Live life to the fullest.
Boom.
That's one of them. Let's see what else. Learn a new hobby or skill. Quit smoking. I think that's a big one for everybody. Again, why wait?
Yeah.
On that.
If you smoke now,
keep smoking because you keep my wife in business. Thank you. Was that bad?
That's terrible.
Oh,
that's terrible.
Okay. No smoking.
Yeah. We should create like a no smoking program where like if somebody has like a cigarette, they're required to like video chat us and we'll just like scold them.
No smoking, Pudgy. No. What's that thing that Robin Williams does on Mrs. Doubtfire?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? I always think of that when people say no smoking. You'll have to go back and watch it.
I will. I haven't seen that in years.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
What is? I just got something.
On your phone, or is this like a spiritual thing happening right
now? No. Anyway, back to it. Let's see what else. Spend more time with family and friends.
Yeah.
I think you need. I just think in this day and age with the cell phones and social media, you need to spend more time with that, and work too. Work gets so. I mean, this is what you spend your whole day at work, and then you come home and you're supposed to be with your family.
Yeah.
To take some time and just be with your family.
Right.
I think that's needed. I think that helps you. It helps you be better at work too.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. One thing that kind of motivated me into kind of going into this year with a little bit more, or a lot of bit more intention, I should say. Like even like with my kids, I don't read enough to my kids. You know what I mean? Because there's so much busy stuff happening just in our lives that by the time I get home, my kids a lot of times are in bed.
Yeah. Now your kids are homeschooled, right?
They are.
So a little bit different. Because I was going to say, for me, I obviously, we are not required, but we are required. We read with Riker. I think it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes a night.
Mm-hmm.
So we do that every night, and we should read more with him. But I mean, it is. I guess that's what we do.
Yeah.
And I try to. Carrie usually takes on the reading, but I don't know. I like that one. That's a good one. Read more. Antoinette says procrastinating. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everybody procrastinates it all.
Yeah.
I am one of those.
Yep.
I need to work on that. Let's see if it has any other ones. I mean, as far as most common, I think we hit most of the common ones. You're losing weight, you're saving money.
Yeah.
Spending less money. Do you really spend less money? Do you really save money? I don't know. I feel like I try to, and then I spend it. I've done a lot better. What about you? Is that something that you have a problem with?
I mean, left to my own devices, I mean, we'd be broke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, like I am the spender. I'm the impulse buyer.
Yeah.
And my wife is a planner. So we're polar opposites. And what's nice about the combo that we have going on is my wife knows when is an appropriate time to allow me to go crazy and when is an appropriate time to basically rein it in. Right.
Yeah.
Because there have been times in the past where, like she had a bad day or she had, whatever going on. And I would tell her, hey, why don't you log on to like the MAC website? Why don't you just order yourself some makeup? Why don't you just, do some things? And there were times where she was like, and I was able to talk her into that. You know what I mean? But my wife is a budgeter. She's the budgeter. She's the, it's like I make the money and then she just tells me where it goes.
Yeah.
And so
isn't that 95% of men? They make the money and the women make the money and the women tell them where the money goes.
Yeah. I mean, probably,
just kidding.
And that's my life. That's our setup and it works great. There are times when my wife will allow me to talk her. I mean, we bought a second dog because, she was like, hey, this move stuff, everything's all stressful and all this stuff. And I know you do. And, and I love her. And
he lost his train of thought.
I did. But she was really stressed out and everything. And she was like, hey, I'm looking at these puppies. Should I get one? And I was like, yes, just buy another dog, And
I think that's what works with both couples. They can bounce it off. One is really good at doing this. The other one is really good at doing this. And sometimes you just have to comfort each other. Make it happen.
Yeah.
All right. So those are the most common ones. And yeah, Kayla works.
I know.
Too.
Gosh.
Yeah. Gosh darn it. Kayla works too, Tony.
I didn't mean to say that my wife doesn't have a job. Jeez. She does.
She does.
And she has all my kids. My wife's like a freaking saint.
They all are. All the women.
Yeah.
All the women are saints. We're never going to ever say no to that.
Yeah. Props.
Boom.
Hashtag
props. I like it. We're gonna put that on a shirt too.
Yeah.
All right. So Forbes puts out a list every year, and Forbes has come out with this list, and this is number one. And I think this is okay. So, oh, there you go. Tony's in a doghouse.
Yeah, I know.
We knew. We had a guy come and talk about social media, Colin Karchnick. I know I butchered that last name. Check him out. He's got some cool stuff out there, and he really hits home with some things. I am the jerk. I am the dad. I am the parent that will not let my son, daughter, kids have social media. I don't care. I don't care if his friends have it. I don't care if whatever. It's a new day and age. No way. They're not having social media. And that's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother podcast we have going. But Forbes, they put on take control of the device that is stealing your time. This is the number one thing. So I went to college, believe it or not, for a few semesters. And in my psychology class, I did a paper on communication. And I went to the bar, and I'd been at the bar for several years already. And I sat there for a good 2 hours, and, people usually conversated in the bar talking, and everybody was just down on their phone, just on their device, sitting right there, talking to each other right there.
Right.
And, I just don't understand. I see it. I mean, it is a big thing. You have the World Wide Web at your fingertips.
Mhm.
You have social media at your fingertips. You had to run home and call a friend. You couldn't, find a payphone, go to the store, and you had to memorize numbers. It wasn't just a contact you hit.
Right.
I'm pretty sure half America and the world doesn't know, 50% of their contacts numbers in their phone by heart. You had to know those things.
Yeah.
And I just think the device, and it's not just a cell phone. We're talking about laptops. We're talking about iPads and tablets.
Yep.
Your Xbox. Even I feel like the Xbox and the PlayStation have went out the door.
Yes.
I spent some time on it. I still do. But my boys, my Riker, he watches people play games.
Yeah.
And those people are getting paid for Riker to watch them. I'm like, dude, you should be playing the game. You know how to play it. You can get paid. No, I just want to watch him.
Right.
So I don't get that. I think that's huge. Take control of the device that is stealing your time.
Yeah.
And you kind of mentioned that, being off your device, spending more time with your family. I think you need to.
Yeah. Yeah. I think to that point it's definitely a cultural thing, right? Because I'm in the same canoe as you, right? My kids will not have social media.
No.
Sure, when you move out on your own, go crazy, do your thing, right? But like, yeah, there's no part of me that wants to allow them to have social media. But it is definitely a cultural thing, because as time goes on, it's become such a part of society that so many people have such a hard time communicating on a social level. For example, I am a programmer. I will sit, and I have sit for years in a room this far away from people, an arm's length, and we will be Skyping each other over the requirements that we're working on for, a project, something we're collaborating on, but the collaboration doesn't happen here. It happens on the keys. Right.
Right.
That discussion doesn't, rarely happen unless we need to go whiteboard something or, plan something out or something like that. But yeah, it's become so we've fallen into this thing where, we can't be bothered with conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We can't be bothered. And I think we commented on before, what this has done is it's bred an entire generation of kids who now, on the playground, when you were a kid, if you went up to a kid and you said something nasty to some other boy, what could you expect?
He's either going to punch me, take me down, or tell the teacher. I mean,
Exactly,
those
right?
were what you expected.
Exactly. I mean, I grew up in Portland. Yeah. I mean, you get socked out, right?
Yeah.
We have an entire younger generation who they're not experiencing that. They're not experiencing the consequence for their actions, right?
Yeah.
So like as a kid, if you look at another kid and you say something like you're stupid, and you can see what that does to them, like on just like a feelings level, right? You can see what that does, like, wow, that really hurt my feelings. You 9 times out of 10, you would feel some remorse from that.
Right.
You know, you would feel, wow, man, that really hurt them. You know, I said this thing and look at them, they're falling apart. But now you have this generation that it's a generation of trolls. And what they'll do is they'll sit there and they'll comment on things and they'll make fun of people online. And because they're not having that face-to-face social interaction, now they feel empowered.
Oh yeah.
But it's this weird cold empowerment that they feel. And now, you know, and it's just it's such a cultural thing right now, you know. And then like you know what you were saying, like, and what Taba's saying here, you know, the internet being as nasty as it is, like, I don't want my kids having anything to do with it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want them on it. I don't want them to know. You know, I would feel much better if my kid was saying, hey, I'm being bullied by this kid down the street rather than I'm being bullied by this weirdo guy on the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, you know, you may or may not be able to do anything about it if they're 10,000 miles away, you know? So.
Absolutely.
But.
See, I mean, we got a whole podcast on that.
We do, man. We could talk forever. Like this one just went from New Year's resolutions to, you know, internet. But anyways, what is it that Tava said there? The internet is a nasty and scary place. I plan to not allow my children to have social medias until they are older, and even then everything
private.
Yep. Oh, okay. Can you blow that browser up?
I wish this one?
No, the main one. Because that'll expand. The inner window will expand with the outer.
Oh, that looks better.
Boom. Huh? Hey, we can see stuff. At least I can. I'm blind.
I'm blind. Yeah. So it is scary.
It really is.
There's a lot of bad stuff out there, and they're, you know, one thing that Colin talks about is their minds are too immature to deal with it.
Sure.
But like you said, you know, years ago, you do something like that to a kid on the playground, he just punch you in the face, and then you're like, okay, yeah, I ain't doing that again.
Yeah, like you learn those consequences came swift, man. I got kicked in the throat one time on the playground. I was like 3rd or 4th grade. I got kicked in the throat because I called a kid a jerk, and I jumped off what was that big jungle gym? Oh, maybe it was just the jungle gym, the big square thing with the little square thing on the top.
Yeah, jungle gym.
Yeah. I jumped off of like somewhere on that, and I landed, and that kid was at the bottom and just straight up kicked me in the throat. And he was like, don't call me stupid, or whatever I called him, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, almost killed me for calling him stupid. Like, I will never talk to that redneck hick. I'm just kidding.
I was the guy that kicked people.
Yeah.
I'm bad.
The kicker.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay, let's get back to our New Year's resolution. Number 2 on Forbes' list is make trust your priority. And I think this is a big thing. I think it's a big thing for trust. And here's the thing. When I was earlier in my marriage, earlier in my relationships, I thought that little white lies were okay, but then they turned into bigger lies.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like I was trying to hurt anybody. I just like, oh, hey, well, I'm going to go down to the Frisbee course, but I'm still working.
Yeah.
And then I go down to the Frisbee course, 30, 40 minutes earlier. Sure. And then Carrie called me and like, where are you at? I'm like, oh, I'm at the Frisbee course. Oh, well, how long you been down there? Oh, about an hour. And really I'd been down there 2 hours. So little things like that. I mean, and I, again, trust, and it's everything in between too. For your kids, you show your kids this, you show your friends, you show your coworkers, you just show everybody around you. Trust is a big thing.
Yep.
If you lose trust, you lose a lot, and it's hard to gain trust back.
Yeah.
It's really hard to gain anything back once you've lost it.
Right.
And trust is a big one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, trust is bred from good behavior that's done consistently over time. Right. And so, yeah, you're 100% right. Yeah. I mean, there might be some circumstances where you can earn it back quicker, but yeah, you're right. A lot of times it takes time. It takes time, and frustrations can exist and da, 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 da,
There is a lot. Number 3, say no more often. Now you might think of this as like, oh, wait a minute, say no. Here's the thing. And I think it goes back to kind of one of your New Year's resolutions is to spend more time with your family. Say no to the cell phone. Say no to working that extra 30 minutes. Look, work is important. Work is what drives this world, this economy, this everything. But you have to know when to say no.
Yeah.
That 5-page report that's due on Friday, it can wait 30 minutes. Come in 30 minutes early. Go see your family.
Right.
But be cautious as to when you say no to those things. I mean, don't just say no all year long, but just say no more often, and think about it. When I think about when I want to say no more often, I want to understand that I don't want to be that yes man, and I don't want to be that person that everybody just takes advantage of all the time. I got to do me. And you have to do you. Otherwise, you're just gonna drown, and that is no fun.
Yeah,
no fun.
Yep.
Number 4, use your power responsibly.
Spider-Man.
Okay, because with great power comes great responsibility.
I knew it was coming.
You said Spider-Man, so I threw that out there.
I know.
But use it responsibly. I mean, think about what you do with the power that's granted to you, with work, with home, with life. Use it responsibly, and I promise it'll pay dividends.
Oh, sure.
Don't you think? I mean,
Yep, 100%.
I don't have a babysitter that somebody comes and watches me all day long in my work. I'm very self-motivated. I am very proactive. I am human and I make mistakes all the time, but I don't need somebody to babysit me and look over my shoulder all day, because again, back to number 2, trust. They trust me to go out there and be responsible.
Right.
So use your power responsibly.
Yep.
And Andrea, saying no is what you did last year. Hey, awesome, Andrea. I am so proud of you. It's hard to say no. Andrea, can I tell them what you do, Andrea? Let me know if I can tell people what you do on the podcast and on the live stream.
Is she a pro fighter? You pro fighter, Andrea?
In her spare time.
I see.
I've learned, I guess, watching some of these YouTubers and these podcasters, they like to ask people, because I don't want to just tell everybody. You saw what I got earlier.
Yeah,
you got to ask. But saying no is very hard. And you want to do good. You want to perform. You want to make everybody happy. And sometimes saying no is going to be okay.
Sure.
I think that's what everybody is scared of, is that if they say no, that, oh, well, they're going to be overlooked for the promotion. They're going to be
yeah.
It's okay to say no. It really is. And it doesn't just work in your job. I mean, say no to, Twinkies and ding dongs.
Put that 5th waffle down.
Oh, that's so hard. So hard.
The thing that's really interesting about saying no, and why a lot of people struggle with it, to be very honest, because they take away a feeling of failure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It feels like a failure to have to say, no, I can't do this. Right. No, I don't have the bandwidth to handle that.
Right.
Right. A lot of people take with it, that weird sense. It's like an opposite pride.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird feeling, but it can also be empowering. And if you say it too much, it can also make you unemployed.
It can. Yeah.
It's a powerful word, but yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. Yeah, that's
Use
good.
your power responsible. Well, if Andrea responds, we'll go back to it.
Okay.
Number 5, become a champion of neurodiversity. Make any sense to you?
Nero, like the old ruler back in the day that used to make like lampshades out of human skin?
Incorrect, and it's not the
Okay.
drink provided by those people. The Nero drink is not that. And my phone's being slow, so I'll come back to it, I guess. Maybe, I don't know.
Make up a definition. Champion of Neroism.
Neurodiversity.
I don't even have anything
Become a
funny.
champion of neurodiversity. Has
Yeah.
something to do with the brain, right?
Oh, see, okay.
Neuro?
How do you spell like neuro? Like
My phone's being stupid. Technology. Put the phone down. Spend more time with your people.
Neurodiversity is a concept where neurological differences are to be recognized and respected as any other human variation. These differences can include those labeled with some word I can't say, dyslexia, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, another word I can't say, autism, Tourette syndrome, and others.
Nice. So
I feel like I'm already pretty diverse in that.
Yeah,
You know?
I think so.
Yeah.
What about you guys out there? Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope so.
I hope so. If not, then you need to find some Jesus or something.
Even if they're not, find Jesus.
Yeah.
Visualize your goal is number 6 on
That's good.
Forbes top 10.
If you're a goal setter, put a thumbs up in the chat or something. Goal setters.
Yes,
Yeah.
thumbs up in the chat. That would be awesome. Are you a goal setter, Tony?
I am, man.
Okay.
I am.
And you have like a credo? Do you have a model? You have a formula of your goals? Because I sure do.
I have a shield with 2 swords.
Ooh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
No, I don't really have any credo or anything like that. Anytime I ever go into a new job, for example, I will usually set for myself 4 or 5 goals, right? I
Right.
want to hit a certain salary by X amount of time. I want to be advanced to a certain point at a certain amount of time, things like that, because I know and they're realistic, right? I know it's within my ability to accomplish. And if I don't hit that goal, which is, not really, it's rare for me to not hit a goal. You know what I mean? I think I have 2 that I've been carrying on from like the time I became a programmer up until now that have been slowly moving that way, but it took time, right?
Right.
But yeah, no, I'm big on goals. What about you?
Huge on goals. I think goals are what drive most of us in the workplace.
Yes.
And in the even in the home life for us. So I talked to you about, do you have like a credo? Do you have like a formula? I have a formula on goals.
Do you?
And this is my formula.
Okay.
And it's kind of a sports metaphor because I always, I know sports, so I can always relate to sports. Here's the thing. A lot of us are driven mentally, right? So a goal is a mental thing. And what happens is if you don't succeed, like if you don't say no, right? You get discouraged, you get down. Golf is always been said it's 90% mental and 10% skill. So my goal credo, my goal motto or mantra, or however you want to call it, I always have 5 goals that I set every 6 months. And I always have 2 goals that are absolutely achievable. Because when you can achieve a goal, it brings high spirits, it brings high energy, it lets you understand that you're able to achieve something. That gives you those endorphins like, oh, I can do something. I am successful. I am good. I've successfully done a goal that I've done. If you can get a couple goals achieved, then now you can move forward and go, okay, well, what's next? So again, I always have 2 goals that are very achievable. I then have 2 goals that are stretch goals, goals that, I have to work at it. I
Right.
can't just, it's not just going to happen. It's not just going to come with whatever I want. I have to work at it. And I usually get the first 2 goals done, and then I work on the next 2 goals, and I
Mhm.
usually get those done. And then, like I said, I always have 5 goals. I always have 1 goal that is unachievable.
Okay.
And when I say unachievable, I mean I am going to have, the sun, moon, and stars are going to have to align for this goal to be achieved. And I can tell you right now, for the last 7 years, 8 years, my unachievable goal has always been the same. I'm not going to talk about what it is on this. It's just better.
He wants to become a superhero. I'll just let the cat out of the bag. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, don't
He
tell
want-
everybody.
He wants superpowers.
I do. No, this,
Yeah.
I'll tell you later after the show. If you guys want to talk to me about what my unachievable goal is, you can message me or however you want, talk to me on the street. But I always have those goals, and I find that after I've given this, I don't know what you call it, the list. What do you call it? What is this? What I'm doing? I mean, is it a motto? It's not. It's yeah. It's one of those,
almost like a mission, not really mission statement, but it's more, yeah,
like a mission statement. I don't know, something like that. But I find that everybody's talked to me about goals and things like that, that I've given this to them. They have come back to me and said, "Oh, hey, I love what you gave to me for your goal thing. It has really worked out for me because, again, I was able to achieve some goals, and you're right. That made me feel like I am part of something. I am capable of doing this. I can do it." And then I was able to really step out of the box and achieve those other goals that were not, I didn't think that I'd have to really work at. And then here, you're right. I didn't achieve that one goal, but I'm going to try it again, and I continue to try it. Now you're going to laugh when I tell you about the unachievable goal off air, but it has always been there, and I've come so close to it, so close, and then I just get kicked back down. But that's kind of my goal thing. I went on a rant on the goals.
That's okay.
But,
goals are good.
Visualize your goal. I mean, that's what people traditionally do, is set goals. They NFL football teams, what's their ultimate goal is to get to the Super Bowl. Basketball teams, the NBA championship. Businesses, they want to be the, business of the year, things of that nature. So goals, visualize a goal.
Yep.
Number 7 on Forbes' list is summon your inner revolutionary.
Done. wait for it. Okay, there.
They're done. Okay. So here's their explanation. Make 2020 the year when you dare to break through the atrophy of conformity, the automatic adapting to the status quo, and this is the way we do things around here, default zone. So that's what summon your inner revolutionary is talking about. And I think I do this every year, because there are things that I do within my job realm that just sometimes work and sometimes don't work. And I think there's times where I'm like, oh yeah, it didn't work, and I just move past it and I don't try that again.
Yeah.
And then I come back and somebody's like, well, you should try this. I'm like, yeah, I've tried it. I guess we'll try it again. And then it works, and I'm like, mind blown. Why is it working now?
Right.
It's just different. I mean, it changes every year, the seasons, what's there. So I think you really have to look at that in that sense. So summon your inner revolutionary. Tony's already done it. Did you see it?
Yeah. Did you see it? I can't do it again. I'm already there.
Yeah.
I'm already at that level.
So apologize if you did not see it.
Yeah.
Rewind. Go back to the broadcast there. Rewatch it. Carrie, you do too know the unachievable goal. She says, I don't even know the unachievable goal. You do. And I'm giving you the Josh look from Midlife Vibes. I really am. And she's probably giving me the Becky look. I talk about those guys.
I'm giving you the Tony look from behind this mic.
Not this mic, that mic. This mic, I'm Michael.
Yeah.
She doesn't know and when I tell
Yeah.
her what the unachievable goal is, she's gonna be like, oh yeah, I knew
Yeah.
too.
I've got one too, and I'll tell you when we're off air. I'm not sharing with anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got one.
He also wants to be a superhero.
I do.
Number 8, Forbes list. Commit to memory. Basically what this is saying, and I think what they're trying to go off is remember things. Don't just like, okay, what was that? I'm gonna go back to Google. I think that's what everybody defaults to.
Sure.
Oh, I should go check Google. I mean, the internet lies too, people.
It does.
It's not always there. And there again, there's the thing. Read some more. This is one of my things. One of our thoughts is to, instead of buying all the new and latest and greatest things, we're going to start traveling more.
Yeah.
Get experiences and see things out there. I mean,
we got inspired from you guys over Christmas, and because Kayla and I were like, our next Christmas should not be anything like this. We should go do something.
I mean, it just has been go do some. I mean, we had a blast in Disneyland. We had a blast driving, even though we like picked at each other and was like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna remember that. I'm not gonna remember this. What brand of socks? No, I will, because I got a good memory. I commit to memory. I don't just worry about Google. But yeah, commit to memory. Read something. Do something.
Read some books.
They're good. They're good. I need to read more books.
That's a Nacho Libre reference to all the Nacho Libre fans out there.
Never seen it.
Oh my gosh, what? Oh my gosh. Pastor Mark had never seen it. We watched it New Year's night.
Really?
Yeah. New Year's Eve.
And it was good?
Oh man, it's the best.
I need to watch it.
It's the best. If you've never seen Nacho Libre, just go out and buy it. Don't even rent it. Nothing. Just purchase it and put it on your shelf and watch it every day. Nacho Libre is great.
I need to. Yeah. I think I started watching it and then I got distracted, and I watched a little bit more of it. And I mean, I could tell you some parts from it, but bad me, because I'm really good with movies. Reframe power in your organization. So what Forbes says is many organizations are moving towards a flat structure where there is no place for the command and control leadership style, often reinforced through hierarchy. What do you think?
Say that again. I was reading your wife's note.
Okay. She said, there you go. Okay. Reframe power in your organization. Mm-hmm. Many organizations are moving towards a flat structure where there is no place for the command and control leadership style, often reinforced through hierarchy.
What do I think about that?
Is that in your workplace? I mean, if you don't want to comment on that because it's like you don't want to get pink slip tomorrow.
No, they won't give me a pink slip. I mean, yes and no. It just depends on who you're talking to, at what time of day, and how frustrated they are.
Right. Yeah. I see. Look, in my organization, in my branch over here, we have a branch manager, we have 2 salesmen, we have a route manager, we have 2 drivers, and then our merchandisers. I mean, there's steps. Mm-hmm. We pretty much work all together. It doesn't matter what title you have. We're trying to achieve the same goal. And so I get that there, but at some point you have to have a boss.
Sure.
You have to have some people that make some key decisions. You have to have some people that lay the law down, that keep you on track, that keep you motivated, that keep you in check. We're human. No one's going to be able to just do that. Mm-hmm. So it's good to have that. I think anyway. And I think that you do, I think, what is it, Google and all those guys, they don't really have a, structure. There's no boss or manager. It's just like whoever comes up with the greatest idea is, the boss for the day type of thing. I think in that environment, it works.
Yeah. But
there are certain environments that it's not working and it shouldn't work and you shouldn't try it. Yeah. That's my thought. That's my opinion. Doesn't mean that it's right, but who am I?
You're Michael.
Okay, good. Just checking your
commit
stuff.
To memory.
Ben says that was one of the last movies I watched at the Strand, and you're referring to Nacho Libre. I'm
Nacho
guessing
Libre.
Nacho Libre.
What is the Strand?
So it was a movie theater, and it burned down,
Oh,
and now it's like an open theater, like plays,
like
theatrical plays.
what do they call that? Why can't I think of the word? I didn't commit that word to memory.
Oh,
dang it!
more reading for Tony.
Play park. I don't know what it's called.
Plays.
Well, yeah, but there's a name. Pan. It's not a pantheon. It's a. There's a word for that thing. You don't know either. There's a word. What is it called?
There is no word.
There's a word, and it's like for the outdoor stage. Oh my gosh, this is driving me crazy.
Somebody find out what the outdoor stage of a theater is.
Oh, somebody. I have Google here, but I'm going to leave it up to you people.
An amphitheater?
Oh, thank you. Amphitheater. Oh my gosh. Why was I thinking Pantheon?
So it's not an amphitheater per se because it's enclosed. Everything's enclosed. I think at one point they wanted to keep it open. But of course we have snow 11 months out of the year.
Sure, the actors would die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. Bad. We could do a lot of like Ice Age movies and theater plays, but they would still die.
Yeah.
So anyway, reframe power in your organization is one of the things that Forbes has on there. Oh, Carrie got an amphitheater. And you win a workout session to the gym after this podcast.
Oh, dang.
Woo! Can you please get my stuff ready to go? Thank you.
That's funny.
I might be joining you.
Yeah.
I don't have a doghouse.
I was going to say, I got room in the doghouse, my friend.
I'm going to be in the cold.
Yeah, I got one of those couch bunk beds.
Oh,
so we're good.
So much room for activities.
Oh my god.
All right, real quick, Forbes last one, improve the employee experience. Every leader should resolve to dramatically improve the modern work experience so employees can do their best while loving every second. You got to have a good work environment. You have to. I mean, there are jobs that are just monotonous. They are it's the same thing over and over. My job is definitely not that. It changes every year, every month, every season. It doesn't matter. Oh yeah, Christmas last year was not the same as the Christmas previous.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But I mean, you got to improve the experience for the employee. Yeah. I really think you do. And it doesn't mean that you have to go all out. There are certain things that drive certain employees.
Yeah.
Find that what drives that employee and run with it. I mean, if Tony likes to listen to music in his cubicle, let him.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's producing for you every day because he has music and you turn his music up because, we don't really like music. You need to have it a reasonable volume and you don't get your stapler. Tony, then his production goes down. I think you got to give him the music back. I don't really know if that's what happens, but I mean, if you're an employer out there and you're wondering what's going on, take a step back and just look at your employees.
Yeah.
Find out what they want. Find out what drives them. Is it I mean, Office Space. Have you ever seen Office Space?
Heck yes, I have.
If you have not seen Office Space, you got to. That's one of those bio and go get.
Yeah.
What's the motivation? Is it on? I think it's on this side of the table. I mean, really.
Yeah.
What can you do to motivate someone? And I mean, I guess this day and age, and this is with I feel like the workforce, they just want paid like they're working 40 hours, but they only want to work 20. They want all the power, but they don't want the responsibility.
Sure.
But I don't know. Look at what the experience is for your employees. Is it good? Is it bad? And if it's bad, take a step back and figure out what you can do to go talk to them. I mean, you're not going to like what you hear. That's the one thing that I think scares employers is what they're going to hear.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of that. I mean, I'm just telling you right now, if you're a boss, if you own a company, if you run a branch, a division, a workplace, a dealership, a grocery store, if you want to really know what's going on with your employees and what's bad, go ask them. I'm pretty sure if you go ask them, you're going to get a lot farther than just if you don't.
Right.
Go talk to them. Go find out. And you might not like what you hear. Understand that. You might not like what you hear, but at least you now know what is not working.
Right.
And if you can't change it, then you can't. I mean, you're not going to please everybody, but I would say 95% of all disgruntled employees, all they want is their employer to come and say, "What's wrong? What can we do to fix this?"
Yeah.
And they're going to tell you exactly what they would like, and you might be able to, what does Captain Barbosa say? Acquiesce their request.
That's a good word.
Yeah, you might be able to do a couple of them. Maybe they want breakfast blend coffee in the coffee room instead of, dark roast.
Right. Because that stuff's gross.
Dark roast is?
I'm not
or breakfast blend.
I like breakfast blend.
We like breakfast blend.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think, to kind of piggybacking on that, is I think that leadership needs to be intentional with that, right? Because I've had many bosses in the past that were very gung-ho with wanting change, but not even really believing themselves that the change was going to happen, if that makes sense.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So they did it to kind of get the hopes up of the employee, but not to actually usher in any change or even have any of those types of discussions. You know what I mean? So
right.
I feel too, I think that's a great move, but I think that the intention needs to exist there to the degree that the employee goes, wow, they said yes to this thing. I really feel heard. Or wow, they actually heard me. It wound up being no, but they literally went and did everything they could to try to get this voiced out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Be transparent.
Yeah.
If you're going to give an employee a raise, if you're going to give them more freedom, if you're going to whatever, be transparent with us.
Yeah.
Be transparent with your employees. Just let them know if things aren't going to happen for 2 weeks or 5 months or 2 years, let them know so they know what to expect instead of being kept in the dark. There's obviously a lot of things you can't discuss with things because you just don't know. Like you said, you don't want to go make a promise to an employee and say, we're going to try to do this and we love to do this. And then all of a sudden it's like, you can't come up with it. So yeah, be cautious on that.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But, I think you just acknowledge them. That would be good. I think.
Yeah.
And let me put it out there. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I think wherever you go into your work environment, doesn't matter where you work, you're going to find some screwy things that just aren't working and things that you're not happy about. I love where I work. My bosses are very transparent.
Yeah.
They tell me how it is, and they always have, because I am that way. I'm going to tell them exactly how I feel and what I think, and I might not be right. And I might be like, get my, I might get the finger pointed at me for a second, but at least they know where I'm coming from.
Sure.
And I look at it as a business when I talk about those things, and I hope they do too. And I know they do too. I don't hope, I know they do. Yeah. They always talk to me, and they're always very straightforward with me. They don't ever beat around the bush. There's a few things that I'm, not privy to, and I get that. It's just my pay grade, where I'm at. But they are always very transparent with me. I like that. And I that's all I've ever asked them. Just be transparent. If you don't, if things aren't going to happen, then great. That's fine. Just tell me. Don't promise me anything. And I don't think they really, there's not one thing I could really point and says, yeah, these guys haven't done that. So I'm happy where I'm at.
That's good.
Definitely. I mean, I'd be happier on a beach with rum, but
sure.
That's me. 10 worst. Tony's got the 10 worst.
10 worst.
I've been talking this whole time.
No, you're good. We'll go through this not super quick, but some of the things that they've commented on here, we've kind of talked about a little bit. So what this is there's a group that asked a number of doctors to share what they and their colleagues would consider to be the worst New Year's resolutions and what to avoid going into 2020. Because the majority of resolutions, New Year's resolutions, tend to be centered around fitness. These are a little bit more fitnessy focused. And it's just some things for, again, these are, kind of their considerations for things to avoid, right? So number one being going into 2020 and saying, I want to eat healthier without really knowing what that means for you. Okay. And the big problem with that is people tend to go a little overboard with it, right? They tend to go a little overboard, right? They don't really do a lot of research. They'll just say something like, hey, I want to do keto because that's, that where I'm at, that's kind of a fad diet right now, right? Or I want to go vegan, right? Because everyone else is doing this and they're getting results, but their body might not be able to support that lifestyle of eating, right? And that's not to say that keto is bad. That's not to say that vegan is bad. I know you guys do keto off and on,
Yeah.
I did the vegetarian thing in the past, it's really what works for you, but to the level that you're able to sustain it. Because a lot of people, when they're like, yeah, I'm going to do this thing, they're not really understanding, the work that goes behind it. You know what I mean? And, people, like I said, will go overboard with it. One comment they have here is, it says, as a doctor, it is common for me to encounter patients that will say they want to eat healthier. The problem is that they often do not know exactly what this means, and the resolution is not specific enough. It would be more helpful for an individual to first define what eating healthy is and what it means to them.
I think that's ultimately why they fail.
Oh, sure.
I mean, I'm going to eat healthier. What does that mean?
Exactly.
I mean, does that mean portion control? Does that mean carbs? Does that mean processed foods? Does that mean soda? Does that mean alcohol? That's a huge thing. You got to dial it in. And I think that's, again, like you said, find what works for you, but then also dig a little bit deeper what works for you and research it a little bit better.
Yeah.
And if you don't know that, go find somebody. There are tons of people out there that do this. They've been through it. They've tried it. They've done it. If you are someone similar, figure it out. Call someone, not Ghostbusters, but call someone.
Right. Another thing is too, I mean, portion control is a huge thing.
Big time.
Portion control. I mean, if you're like, wow, I want to lose weight, cut your portions in half. I mean, shoot, even just cut a quarter off of your typical portion and eat that way for a month, and you'll probably lose a good deal of weight. Right. Number 2 here, it says having this type of mindset. I want to have a body like
Ryan Reynolds. Dude is hot.
I want to have a body like insert celebrity name here.
We're going to have to wash this mic cover.
Okay. So their note here is, it says it's easy to set benchmarks for physical beauty by the celebrities we see every day, but trying to look like your favorite celebrity isn't just misguided, it's downright unhealthy. Everyone's different, including their genetics, body chemistry, and lifestyle. Celebs often have certain advantages, both physical and financial, that the average person doesn't have. So many people will be disappointed if their efforts of healthy eating and exercise don't lead to A-list results. When I first started my fitness journey, I was looking at all these calisthenics, like superstars, guys that were doing like the craziest moves and stuff. And I'm like, this, I want my body to, I want to look like this. I want to achieve these types of goals. I want to do this. I think, at that time, I felt like, looking back on it now, I was really misguided, right? Because, because my idea of fitness, the reality of my idea, comparison is the thief of joy. Hey, that's really good. I like that. I'm gonna get that tattooed on my lower back. And I'm just kidding.
Temporary, that is.
Temporary, that is. A henna. I want that in henna. No. What was I saying? Oh yeah. But I was looking at all of these, fitness superstars, and I'm like, wow, they're going to be the template for what is going to make me happy, right? If I can achieve that, it's going to make me ultimately happy. But then there were little things that started happening that really started making me happy. I shared this in the body weight podcast that we did, when I tied my shoes for the first time without having to hold my breath. When my gut wasn't pushing it up on my lungs, and when I leaned over and my stomach wasn't touching my legs, I was like, holy cow,
goals.
Things like that. Like those started filling me with, I don't even want to say it was a pride, but I've started feeling a joy, a sense of accomplishment, right? Because what's that?
Joy.
No, I started feeling a sense of accomplishment because I felt like what I was doing was sustainable for me, right? And it was working for me, right? And I was feeling the results of my efforts, and I still am, as I continue,
Absolutely.
So it's good to set goals for yourself, but don't model it after a certain individual, right? Because there are 3 different body types that exist out there. And if you're outside, like if somebody that you're using as a template is different, has a different body type than you, you're going to struggle real hard trying to get to that point, unless you have just fantastic genetics and, you can just be whatever.
Yeah.
Kudos to you. Yeah. What'd she say?
So non-scale victory. So what she talks about is everybody is a what is the word now? Gary, come on, help me out. What is everybody a thing to the scale? Come on, put it up there. Okay, so for me, I don't get on the scale very much.
Yeah.
And the big thing, the reason is because, it's not a slave to the scale. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I should probably throw it up there. You can't compare, like, and men and women too. Don't be a slave to the scale. Do not do that. Non-scale victories are what we look for. And the reason we look for those is because, like, if a shirt fits better, or if you can move in a belt loop, if you can, you talk about tying your shoe.
Yeah.
Stomach not touching your legs. Those are non-scale victories. Everybody is a slave to the scale. Oh, I look at the scale. Well, I'll tell you what, if you go into a diet and a regimen and you start doing something, you're going to lose 10 pounds right off the bat, guys.
Yeah.
Because it's water weight.
Sure.
Boom, it's gone. Girls, you're probably going to lose 2 to 3, maybe 4 if you're lucky.
Right.
Unless you are just like on it for 4 or 5 hours in the gym and you haven't eaten a single thing.
Yeah.
And then you're going to just start. Yeah, it's going to be bad. Anyway, don't look at the scale. And then if you're lifting, then you start gaining weight with muscle, and it weighs more than fat. So again, non-scale victories.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Non-scale comparison is the thief of joy, and non-scale victories. You're 2 for 2. Those are good.
2 for 2.
Yeah. The next one here, deciding that losing weight means restricting foods. It says this. It says, instead of focusing on the number on the scale and having extreme goals that will create unhealthy outcomes, why don't we instead focus on behaviors we might want to change? Perhaps you want to engage more in body movement in the next year, or in the new year, or maybe you want to be more mindful of listening to your body cues of hunger and fullness, and not engaging in mindless eating. That is more sustainable and healthy in the long run. For me personally, it's been all about what I'm able to sustain realistically. Because when I first, understand, going into this whole thing, it took me over a year to really study up like calisthenics and fitness and all these different things. And I'm still studying, I'm still learning things. I'm constantly in a state of learning. But for me personally, it took me a year to figure out what it was that was going to be sustainable for me. And I got depressed and I got anxiety over how long it took me to learn. I committed a year to study the crap out of how to lose, almost 100 pounds.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, but I read something similar to this early on where they basically said, don't worry about the number on the scale, but pick something that you want to try to master. So I was like, shoot, I can do push-ups. I'm a big fat guy, but I'll do push-ups. And I tried to do military presses and I couldn't do a single one. And so for 2 weeks, I did 3 sets of 10 on my knees for 2 weeks, just military presses. I did no other workout thing, no other fitness thing. And then one day I got home from work after the end of that 2 weeks and I got on my toes and I did 3 military presses.
Nice.
And I yelled at Kayla and I was like, oh my gosh, I did this, and the push-up was kind of my catalyst, right? Because then it proved to me, hey, if I really commit to this and put some time in it, I can achieve this stuff. And so Yeah, I mean, you have to find what is sustainable for you, but realistic. And I love that. Don't be a slave to the scale. Like, the non-scale victories. Like, that is more important to me than the number on the scale.
Absolutely. For
Yeah.
me, it is, because if I can fit into my pants and my underwear and my shirts, and I can tuck my shirt in, man, I feel good. If I'm not bloated, I don't care about the scale. The scale, obviously, I want to look at the scale, because once you start to see that melt off,
Yeah.
what am I doing? How am I
Yeah.
doing? For me, the scale's bad, because what I'll do is I'll go see the scale and I'll be like, lose 15 pounds. I'm like, oh, I can have a chocolate bar. I can eat 3 pieces of chicken today. And that's where I destroy it. Ugh.
Yeah. The next one here, taking a ton of vitamins in order to become healthier. Stupidest thing. There's a big blurb here, but I'll just read a part of it. As a physician of internal medicine and a vitamin expert, I see many people make resolutions to take large quantities of vitamins in the new year. This is not a good idea for many reasons. First, it never lasts. No one continues taking handfuls of supplements forever, because frankly, that's too much, and it's neither pleasant nor good for you. And then he goes on and says it's not good for your health.
Your body changes.
It does.
So you can't keep taking the same supplements.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a good one. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really done it personally. Excuse me. I've done things in the past where I'm like, okay, I got this protein powder. I'm going to be a protein shake guy in the morning. This is going to be like my breakfast. I'm going to do it. And then I drink it and I'm like, I really hate protein powder.
Yeah,
I hate it. Like, it's so gross. So that for me is not sustainable. And I've done it 2 or 3 times in my marriage, even, where I'm like, Kayla, I'm going to do this whey drink. And then I drink it. I'm like, wow, whey tastes like the bottom of my foot. I don't want to drink this, And so yeah, like, but I know people that have gone crazy with the supplements. I know people that even get horribly out of shape and they take fitness supplements.
Oh yeah.
And because at one point in their life they were somewhat in shape, but they I won't even say it was an addiction, but it became such a routine that they feel like they're going the opposite direction if they're not slamming protein shakes and bars and all these different things. The whole it was real big when the Shakeology stuff was really hot, and the bar mentality and all this stuff. And yeah, don't do that. Just be sustainable and be healthy.
You want supplements, you want good stuff like that, go talk to Andrew Cannon, City Drug Pharmacy.
Yeah.
If you're in Evanston, Wyoming, he also has a place in Sacramento, California, I believe. If you want to talk about supplements and things of that nature, Andrew is a pharmacist. He has studied it. I can't tell you how many times I walked in there and he's like, oh yeah, he's looked at it. He's researched it. So if you want help on supplements, go talk to him.
Yeah. And when you go, mention that Time Out with Michael and Tony sent you. You won't get a discount, but it'll be a good icebreaker.
Absolutely.
All right. The next one here, having a vague exercise goal. Saying that you want to start exercising or exercising more is a great resolution to make, but it is not specific enough. Sticking to this goal will be difficult if you haven't first defined what exercise means to you and how you plan to carry out this resolution. Make a clear and specific resolution that includes the type of exercise, the amount, and the length of time. I think this is absolutely huge. And I think this is one of the reasons why so many people quit their fitness goals that they make, is because they will have that template idea, or they'll just say, I want to be chiseled, but they won't define the path to get there.
And here's the thing, I'm going to add to this just real quick.
Yeah.
I'm trying to blow through this.
Yeah.
10 worst. Thank you everybody for listening. Yeah. Oh, I got sidetracked.
Very good.
Let's start small.
Yeah.
If you're 300 pounds, start small. Don't just dive into the rocks regimen and think that you're going to be able to do it, because 2 days into it, I promise you're going to be so sore, you don't even want to go back to the gym. Start small. Have a goal. Like it talks about, have a goal, start small. So start somewhere where you know you can achieve it and you can get it done, and then move on to the next thing. And if that means you're walking on the treadmill for 10 minutes and you're gone, perfect. Good job. Get out of there in 10 minutes, come back the next day and do 15, and just keep building it up. make sure I think that's the biggest thing for me. I see people, like you said, they want the chiseled body, they want this, and they were going to exercise more.
Yeah.
What's the definition of your exercise? Write it down.
Yeah.
Keep a log of it. Don't just, I'm going to do this. When you look at a plan, like the plan you've made for me,
Yeah.
I look at it and I follow that plan, and I don't get lost. Carrie, she has so many workout plans. It's not even funny, and it's awesome because before she goes to the gym, she'll get it all set up, ready to go, and when she's there, she just looks at it and she follows that gym or that routine. You see a lot of people that are successful in the gym.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean, and when I say successful, that doesn't mean that they're chiseled. That doesn't mean that they're, buff and huge. They might just be maintaining. They're not
Sure.
losing weight. They're not gaining weight. They're maintaining. If you have a routine, I promise you'll be more successful. A plan, a goal,
100%.
huge on that. So that's, for me, start small, have a plan, and work into it. Get yourself there. That's what my thing.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah. It reminds me, I had a conversation a couple years back, and a guy, there's a guy, and he was talking, about this very topic. And he was saying, you have to start small. You can't say you're going to be 350 pounds and then be asked what your fitness goal is. And then you're going to say Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime. That's my goal, right? I want to be Mr. Universe in the next 6 months, right? His thing was, well, try losing 5 pounds first. And if that works, then keep doing that until it doesn't. Then change it.
Right.
Change it slightly. And then do that until you're not losing any more weight. And then when that stops, you plateau there, then change it a little bit and keep doing that consistently. Yeah. I can talk forever on that. That drives me insane. All right. Number 6, opting for the quick cosmetic fix to get lean. Liposuction is not a weight loss tool, but a body shaping process. It works best in patients who are at very close to their normal weight and have stubborn areas of fat that are out of proportion with the rest of their figure. I mean, coming from the West Coast and stuff, like plastic surgery, lipo, a lot of this stuff, I mean, it's out of control.
Huge.
It is huge on the West Coast, man. Like, you don't really see it so much in the Portland area. You do kind of like in like the Ritchie, the Ritchie kind of outskirts of Portland and everything. But yeah, man, I mean, it's way out of control. But yeah, I don't know. I've known people that have gone through and had procedures and stuff, and and it's boosted their confidence. It's helped them, like, for medical reasons and all these different things. But I mean, there are some people that haven't had a procedure and they're thinking, hey, my end all is going to be this procedure.
Right.
Don't do that.
If you're going to do a procedure, think about it, research it, figure it out. And it's just like a diet. It's just like a food plan. It's just like anything else that you're going to do. If you don't continue on a good path, don't think you can go get liposuction or filler in your lips or Botox in your face. And if you don't take care of your stuff and just continue to eat McDonald's every single day, twice a day, 3 times a day, unless you have the metabolism of amazing, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
You're just going to be stuck in the same position.
Right.
I've known a few people that have done that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go get liposuction. They got it, and it was great, wonderful. And I look at them now and I'm like, you're the same as you were 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The tummy tuck. Yeah. I watch a lot of Dr. Miami, and he does a lot of things. Brazilian butt lifts. He does, breast augmentations. He does a lot of things that, I get that. I get that plastic surgery where mom has had 5 kids and she would like to feel like a woman again.
Sure.
And she wants to lift her breasts. Okay. Yeah. I get that. There's also on the other side. I mean, it's really scary. It's, you could cause other things, and I don't know. Anyway, but I don't use that as an outlet.
Yeah.
Like, I can't lose weight, so I'm just going to go get liposuction. Well, guess what?
Right.
Dude or honey, if you get liposuction and you don't have a plan, it's going to come back.
Right.
It's not going to stay away.
Yeah. I just recently watched a documentary on the human Ken doll.
Oh,
have you seen that guy?
Yeah, he got
oh man,
he's upset now because he can't, like, is he the same one that has the corset? and he can't walk around now without the corset because he removed a couple of his ribs, and he can't stand up straight now without the corset.
I don't know if that's the same guy.
I don't know. Yeah. I believe it's the same guy, because now he's complaining. Carrie sent me something. I have to find out that he now has to wear a corset. I would go look, but my phone's being stupid.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna do two more because there's a handful more. So we'll just do two more and we'll call it. The next one is big. Starving as a means of cutting holiday weight. It says all too often people eat and drink too much from Thanksgiving through New Year's Eve. People decide to starve themselves beginning January 1st to get rid of excess weight quickly. This terrible resolution because our bodies turn food into energy so we can accomplish the tasks of daily living, including keeping our brains healthy. You have to understand going into this that if you get into starvation mode, your body is going to consume whatever is in your body. So if you're working out, you're being healthy, your body's going to consume fat, your body's going to consume the things that it should consume. If you starve yourself, there's a really good chance your body's going to eat away the muscle that you have.
Oh yeah. Huge.
And so if you're an individual that's trying to be health conscious, but you're trying to maintain the toneness and the muscle mass or whatever that you have, starving yourself should be the absolute last thing that you think of, because you're going to have the negative results.
There is intermittent fasting, and it does work.
Absolutely.
It helps.
Yeah.
But don't starve yourself. Do that.
Yeah.
There's other ways.
Yeah.
And like you talked about, your body goes into this mode of, I need to keep it energized. I need to keep it moving. You have to fuel your body to work.
Yeah.
And if you don't put food, drinks into your body, it's going to go find fuel.
Yeah.
And fat really is not fuel. I mean, it's not. Your muscle is. The good fat is your fuel, and it's going to take all of that away first. It's not going to take away your stomach. It's not going to take away, your excess bags under your arms or your butt. Those big things that you look for. It will take away the good stuff you worked for so long. It's bad. So don't starve yourself. Yeah. Don't do it.
Yeah. Don't do that. It's never good. It's never good. And the last one here I thought was really interesting. I want to talk about this for a little bit. Deciding to quit smoking cold turkey. It says avoid that. It says this is another great resolution, but people fail at it because they don't know they don't know the best way to go about quitting. Very often people attempt to quit cold turkey, and unfortunately very few people are successful at this method. What people don't realize is that the best method to quitting involves a combination of two things: tobacco cessation, medications, and behavior changes. To increase your chances of being successful while quitting smoking, speak with your doctor. The individuals that I've known throughout the years that have quit smoking did not cold turkey. They did not, because it was, it's torture, but they would do it. They basically weaned themselves off of smoking. Right. And that became, if you set a consistent pattern for yourself, it becomes easier. Right. I mean, it's just like anything in life. If you set up a consistent routine of doing something or not doing something, it's going to become a consistent routine. If you are smoking half a pack a day and, you decide, hey, I want to stop smoking. And instead of, smoking half a pack, you're doing just shy of half a pack, a couple less, give your body time to get used to breathing fresh air again slowly. You know what I mean? So anyways, yeah, I've known a lot of people that have done different things, whether it's booze or smoking or drugs or whatever. And when they try to cut, cold turkey, they have a really, really hard time doing that.
Well, and I think the biggest thing is, like you said, it's a routine. It becomes smoking becomes a routine, drinking becomes a routine, drugs become a routine.
Yeah.
Everything is a routine. Driving, eating, playing on your phone. It's a routine. So you got to get rid of you have to basically replace one routine with another.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, like you said, quitting cold turkey, it's rough. It's rough on your body. It's rough on your mind. Mentally and physically, it's hard.
You got to have some strong willpower.
There are people that
to cut. Oh yeah.
I've seen them.
Yeah.
But they're miserable.
Yeah.
And they've done it. And I applaud them. Like you said,
Yeah.
You got to be some superhero freaks out there.
Yeah.
But replace. I know a guy. He smoked for 35 years, and he just decided one day he was going to stop smoking, and he weaned himself off. And one thing that he told me was he had to find something with his hands. It was his hands that, I know that. So he had a pencil. It started off with a pencil, and then it became candy in his hand, and he always had candy. And of course, maybe the candy wasn't a healthy thing because now he has no teeth. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say he's diabetic.
Yeah. But at least he found. I mean, he found alternate methods. One guy knew he started chewing gum. I mean, chews gum like you could see his truck. I mean, it's full of gum, and that's his thing. He chews gum anytime he feels the need that he needs to smoke. He grabs a stick of gum.
Right. Yep.
I like, quitting cold turkey. It's hard. It doesn't matter what it is. Drugs, alcohol. If you're addicted and you have the addictive personality, I am thankful I do not have that.
I do.
It's hard.
Yep.
I mean, I could stop drinking right now. Yeah. I could just done. It would not hurt me. It would not harm me. I've done it before. I know I have the willpower to do that. So for me, I'm good.
Right.
I did some drugs when I was younger. And I was like, oh, look at that path. That's gonna be no.
Yeah.
So I stopped. I was good. So thank the Lord for that.
Yeah.
Blessing.
Yep.
That was your last one?
Yeah, that was the last one. We done.
Okay, so New Year's resolutions, folks. Thank you for listening. And join us next time when we're back on with this stuff. I'm not sure what our next episode is going to be about. Do you know?
I do. No, I don't. If you have a topic or anything like that you'd like us to talk about next, go ahead and put it in the chat. Shoot us a message. If you don't, then we'll just come up with something on our own.
Right.
As we always do.
We always do. We got a couple coming up. Social media is one.
Yes.
We're going to try to do, you guys have ever seen that, this is going to be a live thing, obviously, so it's not going to be a good podcast one. We won't put it on the podcast. Maybe we could, I guess.
Yeah, we could.
We're going to try not to make people laugh. You've seen Kevin Hart and those guys do it. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's big. We have one with, what else do we have?
Work ethic. That one's coming.
Work ethic. We have blending families.
Yeah, that one's going to be huge. Blended families. That's going to be good. We should do that one sooner than later.
I think we should do that sooner than later. Maybe we can plan on for next week for that. We have a bunch of ideas. Skinny jeans versus the sag. Movie mistakes. Birds and the bees. What do you talk about that?
That's a real short topic.
It is. Weirdest laws in 50 states.
Oh, yes. Stupidlaws.com.
WWF real names. So if you're a wrestling phenom with WWF, WWE, all of those, we're going to do a fun one. I'm going to invite my cousin onto the podcast. And he knows a lot about wrestling, and we're going to quiz this kid. We're going to see if he knows, and we're going to try to make sure we can see him so he cannot cheat. Yeah. And we're going to have all the names. I have some of them. I was pretty blown away on some of the names. I was like, whoa, really? Yeah. I liked the wrestling back then. Weirdest pets. That's another one. I have a good friend who has diabetes. We're going to invite her onto the show and talk about the positives, the negatives, and all of that stuff. Those of you that don't know about that, tons more coming to you this year. I mean, that's just a snippet. Yeah. But like Tony said, if you have any ideas, thoughts, if you want to be on the show, let us know. Reach out. Sponsors are coming. They're going to be huge, and we're excited about that. It's just, you see the studio has offered some new things for us to be able to get something more professional looking, sounding, and so we're excited about that.
Yeah.
Again, Time Out with Michael and Tony.
Hey.
You can see us on live YouTube. Go subscribe to our channels there. Click on the notification button so you know when we're on. click on our Facebook like page. We would appreciate that. Time Out with Michael and Tony. We are also on Apple Podcasts. We are on Spotify. We are on Hushka. We are on Podbean. We are trying to get on iHeartRadio. That'll be a big one. And also Pandora. So we are shooting for those. We'll see what happens. No promises, but you can find us on the other ones.
Yep.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. 2020.
See you guys later. It's always weird trying to end the broadcast and the podcast. Bye.